Hi, I'm Sarah and I work for the English Language School. And today we're going to have a look at the simple present tense. First of all, what is a tense? We use tense to talk about time, and we have three different times: the past, the present and the future. And we have tenses for each time. The one we're going to have a look at today is the simple present. We use the simple present tense to talk about our routines, to talk about things that are true, and to talk about how we feel. For example, he drives to work, I listen to the radio. These are both routines. The sun shines, her coat is black. They are both things that are true. We are hungry, Rob is happy. These are both how we feel. Can you spot the verbs and subjects in the sentences? When we're using the simple present tense, we can talk about when something happens or how often. For example, he drives to work. He drives to work every Monday. He drives to work twice a week. Some useful words in the simple present tense are occasionally, often, regularly, sometimes, every week, every day. As you can see in these 6 examples, our verbs are in the first form. Drives, listen, shines, is, are, is. For regular verbs, we have 4 rules in the simple present. The first one is if the subject is I, you, we or they, we just use the verb as it is. For example, read. I read. We read. If the subject of the sentence is he, she or it, we add s to the end most of the time. For example, I play football, he plays football. If the subject is he, she or it, and the verb ends in the letter Y after a consonant, we remove the Y and add IES. You study, she studies. Lastly, if the subject is he, she or it, and the verb ends in CH, S, SH, X or Z, we add ES to the verb word. For example, watch would become watches. They watch television. He watches television. We also have 4 irregular verbs in the simple present tense: be, do, have and go. For more information on those words, please watch our verbs video. All of these sentences that we've used as our examples are statement sentences. We also have negatives and questions. Let's have a look at negative sentences. These use the word not. For example, he does not drive to work. I do not listen to the radio. The sun does not shine. Her coat is not black. We are not hungry. Rob is not happy. Unlike in statement sentences, where the verb changes depending on the subject, in our negative sentences, the verb stays the same for every subject. He, the verb is now drive, not drives. The part of the sentence which does change in the negative sentences is does not and do not. The exception to this is the verb be, which confusingly does change depending on the subject of the sentence. If you would like to remind yourself what the verb would be, please watch our verb video. To make it simpler, we can shorten do not to become don't. I do not listen to the radio is the same as I don't listen to the radio. We can also shorten does not to doesn't. He does not drive to work. He doesn't drive to work. These are both the same. The third type of sentence is a question. Questions are similar to negative sentences so that the verb stays the same no matter what the subject is. The part that changes, again, is do or does. Normally, we would start our question with the word do or does. For example, does he drive to work? Do I listen to the radio? Does the sun shine? If the verb is be, we can start our question with am, is or are. Is her coat black? Are we hungry? Is Rob happy? Let's have a look at the sentence structure for the three types of sentences. In a statement, we'll usually start with the subject followed by the verb. For example, they eat in the canteen. With negatives, we start with the subject followed by do, does, am, are or is, not, and then the verb. They do not eat in the canteen. For questions, we normally start with do, does, am, are or is, followed by the subject and then the verb. Do they eat in the canteen? If you would like to test yourself, please follow the link for our quiz.